Greetings comrades, my name is Gigantles and I need to make this video quite quickly because it's really hot in my room. Firstly, as you can see from the title of this video, I've finished my dissertation poster for this year, and it's the small one up there. That one over. So I'm looking to the. You know how when you're trying to record something and then the camera's flipped it? So I'm pointing like the opposite way. It's really confusing. Anyway, my poster for last year, which is that one there, that was about whether or not a structure known as the Shiva structure is actually just off the western coast of India, is actually an impact crater from a huge meteor that hit the Earth around the same time as the dinosaurs died out. That's an A1 size. That's an A0 size poster, pretty big. That one up there is my poster for this year, in which my topic for this year is about the relative timing of magma mixing in the Changbai-shan volcano, which is located on the Chinese-North Korean border, and in 946 to 947 AD was responsible for what was known as the Millennium Eruption, and it was one of the largest eruptions in the last 5,000 years. So it was a pretty big thing, and I'm getting to look at a lot of, as you can see up there, I'm looking at a lot of hand specimens as well as microscope slides. So I'm seeing a lot of like banded pumices, black and white from different magma types, a lot of glasses, a lot of clasts and stuff. It's interesting stuff for me. A couple of days ago I had the opportunity to show this to my lecturers, and they found it interesting and they liked the way it was structured and everything. Although I did make one mistake when producing that poster. You see, when I was told that the specifications for my new poster, the poster for this year, would have to be A1 size, I thought that my poster from last year was A1 size. So I put it up there and I would say, okay, can I see this font from 3 meters away? And then I would try and, on PowerPoint where I was doing my poster, I would try and reshape everything so it was roughly the same size, relative to the paper. Problem is, like I said, that's A1. That poster's A1, and that one is A0. So when I printed out the poster, I realized I made everything too big, and I did make everything too big, unfortunately. The font on both those posters is the exact same size, which wasn't too much of a problem in the end. But it was unfortunate that I couldn't put a picture of the Changbai-shan volcano itself, which it has a massive crater lake known as Heaven's Lake. Not sure if you can hear that. There's a rumbling vehicle outside. Anyway, as I was saying, the Changbai-shan volcano has a lovely crater lake known as Heaven's Lake or something, and it's incredibly beautiful to look at. And I would have really loved to put a picture up there, but you're limited with how many figures and stuff you can put on a poster like this. For both of them, I could only fit 4 on with the relevant references, necessary text to describe them, captions and stuff like that. I will do a more in-depth video about my findings when I finish my dissertation, so a few months away. But yeah, the point is, poster done, and there it is over there. Looking quite nice, and I look forward to showing you some of these samples because they're really nice to look at. The second part of this video has absolutely nothing to do with my course at all. It has to do with more of my now normal accommodation problems. Yes, we now have rats. How do I know? Well, on Sunday when I was busy cooking in the kitchen, like the one time I'm ever in the kitchen is every week when I go down to cook a special meal, a traditional meal of mine. I was down there, and there were a bunch of other students. There were a bunch of other students in the accommodation. They were in the kitchen as well, and they were busy cooking something. I think they were probably from near the Indian subcontinent, because they were cooking that sort of food, and they gave off that vibe. You know, the music, the food, and the language they spoke. A couple of guys went outside, because right next to the kitchen is like a small clearing, in a small courtyard. So a couple of guys went out for a smoke, and they started talking about how they found a rat. And I was right by the window in the kitchen, so I went and looked, and there was a rat inside of a paper bag, like breathing, like. Not sure if you could hear that, but it was breathing quite quickly and shallowly. and they took out a water bottle and started giving it water. And I'm looking at them going, I get the fact that we're compassionate humans that look after animals, but this is a rat. You have the door to the accommodation open. If this rat runs, it will get inside the accommodation kitchen and start contaminating everything. And the rat eventually got up and walked away behind the bins. But it goes to show the filthy conditions of my accommodation, unfortunately, that I have to live in which I said before, we had ants. I noticed a silverfish in the corridor outside my room. Actually, it wasn't going anywhere near my room, but I immediately had flashbacks to last year where we did have a problem with silverfish, and now we have rats, which is just lovely. The fact that I'm getting the whole spectrum of pests one after the other. I'm just concerned what comes after rats when it comes to a pest problem, because rats are pretty bad, and the last thing I need to get is bubonic plague or whatever, now that I'm trying to do my dissertation and everything. But in all seriousness, I should be fine. I don't leave my door open. I don't think rats can climb glass, so I should be fine with my open window. But if rats do get in my room, I am not going to be happy. But apart from that, the main things to focus on this week, I finished my dissertation poster, which now leaves me with only my dissertation to do. It's going to be, I think it's 10,000 words, so I'm going to have to do a lot of work for it. And there are now rats in my accommodation, which is going to be fun in dealing with. If there are other students out there who decide, let's play with the rats, with the door to the accommodation open that they can just run straight in before we have any time to react and close the door. Otherwise, that's enough for me. Have a good weekend, all of you. God bless you all. See you in the next video, comrades. Until then.